Hi, Acting Manitou. My name is Zora. I use she and they pronouns, and I'm a junior counselor this year. And today, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a groundhog finger puppet. I chose groundhogs because Acting Manitou, as you may know, is full of them, and I loved seeing them when I was a camper, and I'm sure they are all missing us right now. So let's bring a little bit of Acting Manitou into our lives. Hi. Welcome to the underside of my kitchen table. I'm gonna be filming the rest of the video here. Come on! So, here I have laid out everything that you're gonna need to complete this craft. First, we're gonna have felt. Now, really, you'll only need half a sheet of one color to complete the body, but you can mix and match colors, you can use whatever you want. So, for this one, I will be using green and white. And I've picked the green color because at Acting Manitou, we are green and grateful. And the white will be for the teeth and eyes. Next, we're gonna have this PDF of a pattern that I made for everyone to download and print out. It's got everything you need to cut out, and I've already cut out my pieces, but you're just gonna cut them out. And you also will have a birth certificate and accessories to add on later. Of course, you're gonna need a needle and thread and some pins, and so you're gonna need some glue. You really can use any type of glue, tacky, Elmer's, but I just have this little bottle of fabric glue that came in the sewing kit I had. You're gonna need a pen to mark on your felt, and you're gonna need scissors to cut it all out. Lastly, you're gonna need embellishments, and that's the fun part. It can be anything from buttons to sequins, as we have here, paint. I personally really like to paint the faces onto my puppets, so you'll see me do that later in this video. But yeah, and I'll make sure to write out a little list, and I'll put that in the next slide so that you guys can screenshot. All right, so as you can see, I've already cut out my pattern and I have outlined it onto the felt. And all in all, you're gonna want to have 2 cutouts of the body, 2 arms, 2 ears, and if you want to use the pattern to decorate the face, although I encourage doing whatever you want in that respect, then you're gonna wanna have 2 eyes and a tooth. So next, I'm going to cut out along the outline on the felt, and the next shot I'll give you is me pinning it, because cutting it out is boring, and I know you don't wanna see that. So once you have all your pieces cut out like this, the next part is putting it all together and pinning it in place so that you can sew it. So we're gonna sew this puppet inside out so that you can turn it around and no seams will be visible. So it's gonna seem a little weird, but I promise in the end it'll all make sense. So I can see that there's still some marker on this edge, so I want that edge to be inside. So I'm gonna make sure that this guy is on top facing out, and this edge that has some marker on it is also facing out at the bottom. Now, to put my ears and arms inside the puppet so that I can sew it all together with all this in there, I'm going to open this up and I'm gonna place my arms where I want, and it's gonna look weird because they're gonna face in, but when you flip it around, it'll look normal, I promise. So I'm putting that arm there and this arm right here. And then the ears, we want the rounded part to face out. So I'm gonna put my ears right here because I want them to have that little rounded edge sticking right out the top. So the pointy part is what we will see peeking out from our little groundhog sandwich, and we are just gonna sew right over that. The next really important step is pinning it, because we wanna make sure that everything stays where it's supposed to be while we sew it. So we're gonna make sure that we get these pins, and be careful not to prick yourself, but you wanna pin through all 3 layers wherever you've added an ear or an arm, just so that you know it will stay in place. And I always like to use a ton of pins, so my puppet will probably have a million little pins in it, just make sure you don't forget them when you're done, because that is always a very unpleasant surprise. And I'll pin at the bottom too, because I just like it to all be pinned down nice and secure. All right, and there it is, all pinned. So our next step is to sew it. And so I've threaded my needle. If you don't know how, there are lots of YouTube videos about it, but it is way too small for me to show in this video. If you're using like a super fine thread like I am, you're gonna wanna make sure to knot it a good few times at the bottom, because thread loves to go through felt and then not stop going. So make sure that you really tie it off good. So when you start, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have enough room for your finger. So I usually like to start right about here. And at the first stitch, I like to go through a lot. I like to go through probably 3 or 4 times, just to make sure that that area is gonna be really, really secure. Now you notice I'm doing sort of the loop stitch where you just go like over the fabric and you're only ever going in through one side. But if you like to do a running stitch, that's totally fine too. I just think that this one I have always had the most success with. And so you're gonna wanna just keep doing the stitch all the way around until you get to about here, because remember, you want to leave an opening for your finger. So this part is probably not going to be super interesting to watch, but I want to show you guys what I do when I get to the arm. So I'm trying to speed up to get to the arm. How are your guys' days? I hope they're going well. It's raining here. I wish it wasn't raining, but what can you do? So when I get to the arm, I like to stop doing the loop stitch and start doing a running stitch. But it's really important that you also check on the back of your puppet to make sure that you are getting through all 3 layers of felt, because, you know, sometimes you're not, and then their arm falls off, and then that's really sad. So spare your groundhog the trauma of a limb falling off randomly, and do a really solid job of sewing their arm on. This is also what I do when I get to the ears and the other arm. I just try to sew it really, really good, because this part is a little bit more vulnerable than the rest of the parts. I'll show you guys just me sewing the rest of it, but if you are a more experienced hand sewer, this might be kind of boring, so I totally give you a pass to skip to the next part. But if you feel like you want to watch me sew this all the way around, I will do that for you. I hope you guys are having a good week. My week has been boring. But it's been pretty sunny every other day. It's been very nice. My dog, she's doing great. I had to kick her out from under the table to do this. So she's a little bit mad at me right now, but that's fine. Yeah, you'll see that it's just all about repetition here. I am just doing the same stitch over and over. And when I get to an ear or an arm, I'll take it a little differently, but it's just kind of more of the same. second ear finished. As you start to get to the end of your thread, you want to make sure that you know when you're going to have enough to still, oh, it got stuck on a pin. Okay, got it unstuck. You want to make sure that you're going to have enough left at the end to tie it off, which is always one of my worst habits, is that I never leave enough for me to tie it off. Oh, there's some thunder. Okay, getting close to the end. This doesn't take me very long. And I've honestly just been making these because I think they're very fun. Oh, getting to the end of my thread. Uh-oh. All right, so I'm gonna want to stop sewing at around this point so that I can get my finger into it. And I like to do maybe 3 or 4 stitches in the same spot, just so I know that I really got it, that it's really secure. And then you're gonna wanna tie it off, which good luck to me because I did not leave enough thread, but I'm gonna turn the camera off to tie it off because it's really difficult and I'm probably gonna look really silly doing it. Yay! So at this point, I've tied off both ends. I am finished sewing, all pins removed, and double check that your pins are removed because I promise there's always one surprise pin. But at this point, what you're gonna wanna do is flip it inside out. So this sometimes can be a little bit difficult and it feels like you're going to hurt it, but 9 times out of 10, you do not hurt it. It's just hard because you have to go through a finger-sized hole, and it's a little bit bigger than your finger. But once you do that, you get this little body shape. So that's what it looks like. The seams are not visible. Its little arms look normal and its little ears are coming out the top of the head. So that is what it is supposed to look like. Fits on my finger. And I really like it. And next is the best step of all time, the decorating step. Yeah. So, all right, so here are all of my puppets that I made this morning. And I wanted to bring them out to show you guys all the different ways that you can decorate them and customize them and really just like make them your own masterpiece. So, this guy and this guy, I've put the felt eyes and teeth on them using the white felt, and I think that looks really cute. I think he has a little puzzled expression. This guy, I've put sequins on them, and they have a septum piercing and hair, and that was really fun to do. And this one, I've just painted everything on them. They're a little clown, and they have a button of a flower that I like to imagine squirts water on you. And so I think for this guy, I don't really think that I want to use the felt face. I think I'd rather paint it on myself. So I think I'm gonna give them just a little circle eye, and another little circle eye. And then I think I'd like for them to have a kind of like confused expression. Yeah, like a little puzzled. And you can, you don't have to paint the faces on. You also can use like a marker, a Sharpie, really anything. I'm gonna give him some eyebrows, nice thick brows. I'm gonna give them little paws. Boop, 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 boop. The other side. Boop, 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 boop. And then I think I'm gonna put maybe like a little spiral or something on their stomach, because just to give it some flair, you know? Ooh. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is so full of flair. Whoa. Oh, you thought I was done? Nope. I'm still going. Oh. I'm gonna keep it going. Wow. Ooh. Oh, the discontinued look. Love it. Ooh. Oh. Make sure you don't mess up your paint if it's still wet. All right. I say that's where we finish with them. I really like that look on them. Yeah, but oh, dear watcher, there are still many more important parts. We are not just done at the decoration. I hope you didn't forget about the birth certificate, because that's the most important part. You have to give them a name. So I think I'm going to name my little groundhog Bartholomew. A nice, good name was born to Zora. Genuinely don't know what day it is. Quarantine. So I'm going to say it's the 21st. And there you go. There's their little birth certificate. And additionally, included on the PDF was this sheet of accessories, right? Oh, they're upside down. This sheet of accessories. Now, this is to give them lots of fun adventures when you inevitably put on puppet shows with them, because that's definitely what you're gonna do, right? You're definitely gonna use these to have fun situations, such as like FaceTiming an old friend and then quickly putting your phone down and running over to the hand sanitizer. Like laughing with a pet shrimp. Laughing with a pet shrimp after you cut your own bangs. Marshmallows by yourself, but thinking of your friends. Rehearsing your lines for your school's Zoom theater production in a Starbucks coffee, wearing your mask because you abide by state mandates. The possibilities are endless. All right, bye guys. I really hope that you liked this and that you had fun. I had a lot of fun. Please show us your puppets, show us your puppet shows. Get creative, have a lot of fun. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of your summer. Bye.